or express sadness, worries. You're expected to be strong, bold. Then we grow up basically suppressing our emotions. And very often the thought is, well, if I'm sad, there's no need to cry about it. Focusing on one's sadness or focusing on one's emotion is considered a waste of time, a waste of energy. It is considered weakness. When you do not bring attention to what you're feeling, when you have not brought attention to your own emotions, then you become a stranger to yourself. We become strangers to ourselves. We don't know what causes us unhappiness, what causes us happiness. There are again several other cultures in the world which are for complete expression. If you're angry, be straight about it, express it, talk about it, fight for your rights.
I'm from there.
If you are someone who is not expressing your emotions, does it mean that you're suffering less? Let me know, is it like that? Just because we have not brought attention to disappointment, sadness, or anger, you've never brought attention to your emotion, does it mean that you're suffering less? Or that you're not suffering at all? You're merely unaware of your emotional state. You're allowing the goat to become a Godzilla. If you're someone who is not expressing your anger, it doesn't mean that you are a mature person, or that you suffer less, or that you're very intelligent. Nor does someone become intelligent because they're expressing their emotions. Wisdom and intelligence emerges in your consciousness when you're able to bring awareness to your state of mind, to your state of being. What is this awareness? It is about being aware of your thoughts, of your perceptions, of your emotions and feelings. Of what you're doing. It is being a passive observer of everything that's happening inside you, especially when you're feeling low. Coming to you, Jack. Especially if you're feeling unpleasant inside. Awareness is about bringing your attention to the thoughts, to your emotions, without justifying, without passing your judgments on what you're observing. We will learn about this in depth later. Right now we are understanding what is awareness. You're merely bringing attention to your different thoughts that's happening in suffering, or all the thinking that happens when you're happy. You're not condemning them, you're not justifying them to be right, wrong. It should be there, I shouldn't be thinking like this. You are a passive witness to what's happening inside you. And you're looking at the truth. If your thought is one of jealousy, you're discovering yourself. Oh, so I'm feeling jealous. Because of jealousy, I truly did not appreciate the other person's efforts. I'm able to see this. You're not running away from what you're seeing, nor are you trying to change what you're seeing immediately. I'm feeling jealous, let me change these thoughts to something else. We are not asking you to replace what you're seeing with something beautiful. That is positive thinking, right? Don't be negative, think positively. Or any of those kind of concepts. Awareness is to just know. You're like being a very innocent child. Have you seen children? They don't feel bad about their jealousy. They don't feel bad about their anger. It's not being childlike or childish. You're not making anything about you, your thoughts or your emotions wrong. But you're merely seeing the truth of your state. Yes, these are the reasons. Something happened yesterday because of which, I'm not feeling fine. I'm feeling very hopeless. I'm feeling hopeless. This is what I am thinking. More about this, we will continue to learn as the days unfold. Yes, Jack.
You may have just answered the question I was going to ask in terms of the difference between being aware of it and judging it. But I was just going to ask a clarifying question because I would consider myself to be quite self-aware.
Where's the other mic? I just see one over here with me. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so as I said, you may have just answered it in what you said with the delineation between judging and being aware of the emotions. I suppose I would consider myself to be somebody that's quite self-aware, and up until now I was thinking that that's part of the problem, right? Like we've spoken a lot about not obsessing about yourself, and so I'm sort of sitting here going, well, I'm always obsessing about myself, and that's not a good thing. That's kind of I consciousness. But now we're talking about always being aware of how you're feeling, and so I suppose I'm just after some clarification as to how do you distinguish between obsessing about oneself and being aware of your thinking and your emotions and your actions all of the time. Is there a delineation there, and if so, what is it?
Oh my God, there's so much of a difference.
Yeah, I thought there would be, I just don't know what it is yet.
First of all, if I had not brought attention and somewhere communicated to you that we have to be in awareness always, such a thing is not possible. That's why Krishnaji said, there are only two states of mind. It's either awareness or it is unawareness. Which also means both these state of mind are natural to us. The brain can never enter into a zone where it is aware all time. 24 hours of the day. Even when you're sleeping, the brain is aware. We are not speaking of permanent state of awareness or permanent state of unawareness. For that matter, a permanent beautiful state or a permanent suffering state. No. This is an oscillation. The body has its own intelligence with which it is controlling so many activities, coordinating so many activities within the body. Are we aware of what all is happening within the body? No. That is absolutely not something that we can become conscious of. But when it comes to what's happening in the mind, what's happening in your being, apart from the body, you are your emotions, you are your feelings, you are your thoughts, you are your memories, you are all the past experiences of this life. And the teachers have spoken to you about samskaras, which are, we might not remember different lives, but we do have certain experiences which we felt in this life, which looks like a memory that has been flowing into us, do not know from where. We are all of this. Now this, if we choose to, we can bring complete awareness. Especially if your thinking, if your feeling, if your emotions is causing you unhappiness, then awareness of that state, awareness of any obsession that is building in that, will help you set yourself free. Whereas unawareness will keep you still held very strong in such obsessions. So, if the question is, am I not making this into an obsession of wanting to be aware all the time? So how should I live my life? Is the academy teaching me to be a person who's aware of all the thousands of thoughts that crosses my mind the moment I'm awake till I go back to bed? Not necessary. If we have made awareness into an obsession, or for that matter, any of the beautiful states or transcendental states or even enlightened state into an obsession, you're suffering already. Every effort that you put towards being aware is a fight against moments which you were not aware. We are not asking you to be obsessed. Let us begin with bringing awareness of certain obsessions that is causing pain. I want to be someone who's growing in awareness is not yet an obsession that is causing you suffering right now. You're very inspired about this concept. You're agreeing that yes, life has to be lived from awareness. So you're imagining how beautiful life will be if I live it with awareness. You're fascinated by it when you're listening, which means to live a life of awareness, to live from beautiful state, must become your spiritual vision for yourself. That's the spiritual vision for your inner state. Well, it is possible in unawareness, you might make your spiritual vision into an obsession. But we teachers here, we are here for this purpose. Anyone who's making it into an obsession, we will begin to help you to let go of those kinds of spiritual ideals. According to Krishnaji and Preetaji, awareness and unawareness happen throughout the day. But we must slowly nurture this ability to become more and more conscious, especially when you're relating to yourself, when you're relating to another person. If we are not conscious of whether we are happy or unhappy, whether we are angry or we are calm, eventually because we are unconscious, we will hurt the other. When you're not conscious of what you're going through within yourself, how will you be conscious of what you're doing to another? Awareness cannot be different for oneself and different to another, right? So the answer to you, Jack, is yes, it can become an obsession. But the difference is that awareness, you understand it and then you hold this spiritual vision for your inner state. That about your thoughts and your emotions and all these inner processes you're becoming more of an observer than someone who is judging it. How do we go about understanding this and being this? We will learn this every day little by little. Yes.
Mike?
I'm going to speak in Spanish. Okay. Gracias, Carla. Por el último año, el año pasado, todo el año, pasado estuve muy enojada, con mucha ansiedad, muy irritable.
1 year ago, I was feeling like these kind of emotions, like anger all the time.
anger, anxiety, depression. Y era capaz de ver mis resortes, lo que me provocaba y mis respuestas.
And I can see what happened inside of me and what is the answer about that.
Podía ver que estaba causándome daño y causando daño a otra persona.
And I can see I can just make that kind of mistake with the people, and I just doing something, the people feeling bad about that, and I can see that.
Causing me pain and the other one. I could see all, but I was in an obsessive state. I couldn't go out of it. All the time. Until I came here, I liberated, you helped me. But I was trapped.
So you'll have Utpalaji come now, and she will lead you through a very beautiful experience. Until then, you can make your notes about whatever you have learned in this session.
Is that a question? Or sharing?
If there are questions about this particular session, we will also have a group meeting. We'll continue it there. Namaste.